afternoon. I'm Teacher Winnie. I'm going to be taking you through literacy B, that is part of SST P3. So today we want to talk about let's talk about what you call basketry. I remember last time we were talking about the economic activities. We said economic activities are activities that people do, or these are the work that people do to earn a living or to get what? Money. We looked at the examples of economic activities that people do. We talked about farming, we talked about teaching, we talked about tailoring, we talked about fishing, and many others. So when you talk about basketry, that is the act of making baskets. Basketry is the act of making baskets. Basketry is the act of making baskets. So we all know what a basket is. You've ever seen a basket? People use the baskets, they take it, they use it for going to the market to shop some things and many others. Some people store some food in them and many others. So basketry is the act of making what? Baskets. Basketry is the act of making baskets. So we have, those of us who don't know what a basket is, this is a diagram showing a basket. Diagram showing a basket. This is how our basket is going to look like. So, this is how our basket looks like. This is how our basket looks like. So when you talk about the basket, this is how the basket looks like. You make it in this form. You leave some small holes in it. So which materials are used to make the baskets? Which materials are used to make the baskets? Materials used for making baskets. Materials used for making baskets. We can use materials like the raffia. We can use materials like the raffias. We can use materials like the sisal. We can also use the materials like the reeds. Can use the reeds. Or we can even use sticks. Small sticks. Sticks small in size. Long sticks, small in size. So those are some of the materials that you can use to make the baskets. You can use the raffias to tie them. You can use the sisal. You can use the reeds. You can use the sticks or the ones which are small in size. So what are the importance of making baskets or the importance of baskets to people? Importance of baskets to people. Importance of baskets to people. Baskets are very, very important for people. One, the first importance is people People sell baskets to get money. People sell the baskets to get money. People can also use baskets for carrying food. People use baskets for carrying food. People use baskets for carrying food. For example, you're going to visit someone, or you're going out for an outing, you're going for a picnic, you can carry your food and put them in the baskets. And then people can also use baskets to store food. People use baskets to store food. To store means to keep. So you find that most people who live in the villages, they store their food in the baskets. Just small amounts of food, like the tomatoes, for example, the tomatoes. You find them putting them in the baskets, the onions. And many others. And why would they keep these foods in the baskets? To avoid them or to prevent them from getting spoiled. You know, these baskets here, there's some air that passes through those, so that oxygen enables to keep the foods or these kinds of foods fresh. So baskets are used to store food. They can also be used for carrying food. They can also be used to get money when they are sold. So those are the uses of baskets, or that is the importance of basketry. So that is one economic activity that I talked about. Last time we talked about also pottery. We also talked about pottery, and today we are talking about basketry. Now let us talk about also another economic activity that people do to earn a living. That economic activity is called smithing. That economic activity is called the smithing. Let's talk about smithing. Smithing. What did we say smithing is last time? I remember mentioning something about smithing. We said that smithing is the making of things out of iron. Smithing is the making of things out of iron. Smithing is the making of things, of materials, of things, or materials out of iron. Smithing is the making of things or materials out of iron. And what are those materials that people use or people make? Materials made out of iron. Materials made out of iron. We have the padlocks. We have the padlocks. Anything that is metallic. Anything that is metallic, it is something that is called the iron. It is made out of iron. So for example, we have the padlocks. The padlock is made out of iron. We also have the hose. We also have the axe, or the axes. We also have the pangas. We also have we also have the wheelbarrows. We also have the wheelbarrows. We can also talk about the doors. We can also talk about the doors. We can also talk about the knives. Then and many others. So those are some of the things made out of iron. And And all these things is called, or the act of making these things is called what is called smithing. They have said padlocks, poles, axes, hammers, wheelbarrows, doors, knives, etc., and many others. So those are some of the things made out of iron. What are the importance of these things made out of iron? Importance of things made out of iron. Importance of things made out of iron. We talk about the padlocks, we talk about the holes, we talk about the axes. When we talk about the padlocks, how is a padlock important? A padlock is used to provide security. Padlocks is used for security. Padlocks are used for security. Padlocks are used for security. Those are, for example, you're sleeping in your house, you need to lock your door using a padlock because you never know, you're not safe. So to avoid the thief from entering or from breaking in your house, maybe you're not around, you leave the door when it is closed, but make sure you close using what? A padlock. Then we also talk about others like the wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrows are used to carry tools. Wheelbarrows are used by farmers to carry tools. Wheelbarrows are used by farmers to carry tools, e.g. like which tools? The pangas, the hoes, the axe, and other tools. So wheelbarrows are used by farmers to carry tools. Even the builders, even other people, they use the wheelbarrow to carry their things. For example, the builders, they carry cement, they carry sand using the wheelbarrows. Then they have the knives. Knives are used for cutting food. For cutting food, or you can say for peeling. Knives are used for cutting food and peeling. Knives are used for cutting food and what? And peeling. We also have the table knives. Table knives also, they're used for cutting food. You don't use them for eating, use them for cutting food. So we also have the hoes and the pangas. Hoes. Hoes are used for digging. Hoes are used for digging. The axes. The axe is used for cutting big trees. Big trees. And then the pangas are used for cutting small trees. And pangas for cutting small trees. Small trees. So lastly, we can also say that lastly and the most important ones, all these materials made out of iron, they are sold to get money. They are sold to get money. So when you sell all these things here, you get your money, the money which can be able to take care of your family, to look after yourself. So we say that the tools made out of iron or the things made out of iron are used for to get what? Money when sold. Then lastly, I'll ask you, remember last time we talked about the person who makes things out of iron. How do you call a person who makes things out of iron? How do you call the person who makes things out of iron? So note that a person A person who makes things out of iron is called a blacksmith. Any person who makes things out of iron, anyone who makes hoes, pangas, knives, slashers, and many other things, that person is called a blacksmith. Person who makes things out of iron is called a blacksmith. Person who makes things out of iron is called a blacksmith. Thank you very much for listening. We shall meet again. I stand by the names of Teacher Winnie and Nina. Thank you. Have a nice time.